Can you imagine a world of forms of cancer?
Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come for our 4th annual live stream for the cure.
And this year, we need your help more than ever.
Please join us May 27th through May 31st for 48 hours of live content from guests and podcasts around the world.
We'll be aiming for our most ambitious goal to date as we try to raise $10,000 for the Cancer Research Institute.
Please visit www.livestreamforthecure.com for more information on this year's event and how you can be a part of it. Together, we can make a difference.
Yeah, so Lindsay, like, whatever it takes. I understand you want to do that movie, and I want to do that movie, but I have to convince Nathan to do that movie.
It's going to be a tough one.
It's going to be a real tough sell. But, like, I figured since you've seen it before, like, you kind of have, you know, basis of knowledge here. Maybe you could just, like, feed me some lines to, like, sell it for him?
I could try.
All right, cool. Nathan, how's it hanging?
Oh, gross, Brendan. Don't ever do that. I got your message. You want to talk about the next movie?
Yeah, the next movie.
Yeah. So what movie are we doing?
What's it called?
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Oh, come on. Really? That 2000 garbage? It's like, you know, it's like a D-list Revenge of the Nerds with some thrown in warmed over Cyrano to make it seem like it's smart. That's got such a waste of time. Dude, let's do Ninja 3, The Domination.
It's got a Spider-Man villain. And the pie is great.
Oh, right. Who are you talking? Right, Franco is in this the movie, isn't he? It's like one of his first roles. Nah, I would really rather watch, Mr. Ochmonek be slain on a golf course.
It has fetus Jesse.
Jesse.
What? Fetus Jesse? What are you saying?
Jesse Pinkman.
It's his...
Oh, right. Aaron Paul before he was on Price is Right. No, I'm not feeling it, man. Like, I think Sho Kosugi as, a demon ninja whisperer is where we gotta be.
Oh, God, we're not doing well.
Who are you talking to? Brendan, did you got your meds refilled, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Good, because it's very important. So you have to just call and make sure that they know you need those deliveries. We can do that during this whole lockdown stuff. So, but again, I get back to the movie. I would really much rather do something canon because it's gonna have that sweet canon sound with the Casio keyboards and the terrible synth music.
God.
It's got great music.
Oh, come on. What's it got? It's what, a late 90s soundtrack is going to have Smash Mouth and Third Eye Blind. No, come on, man. Like, really, I feel canon films is the way to go. What?
Chortle, chuckle.
You said you got your meds refilled. You sure you took them though, right?
Yeah, I took 2.
Yeah, I took 2.
Brendan, you know you're only supposed to take 1. It's 1 every 4 hours, buddy. Come on. It's probably why you're so nervous right now.
Oh.
I'll pay you $200 to do the movie.
I'll pay you $200 to do the movie. What?
Oh, so we're doing whatever it takes.
You know when I pick a movie, that's when I'm under pressure now. The question always comes back to me, what were they thinking now? Whoa, what were they thinking? What were they thinking?
Welcome.
Yes, welcome.
Welcome, bienvenue, welcome.
Yes, that's the general era of being a greeting to the people who are listening. This is What Were They Awkwarding?
I'm Brendan.
I'm Nathan.
And we have a guest returning this week. She was on our episode about one of the greatest films ever made, The Happening.
What? No.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lindsay.
Hey.
Just lights
Just
up
hey.
our room with that charismatic attitude of hers.
Lindsay, we're talking about Whatever It Takes. This is a movie
To avoid watching this movie.
Yeah. This is a movie that you had seen. You have a history with.
Yeah, I was the target age group. I saw this movie when I was 16 in theaters. I paid money for it.
Oof.
And I wanted to see it.
Oof.
And you still want to see it to this day.
Mm-hmm.
God. Lord.
We talk about bad movies, questionable movies, and we're doing that again because we're talking about Whatever It Takes.
So this is definitely bad and questionable.
Yes, all of that. This movie was released in 2000, and holy shit, what a cast! We've got Shane West, who is definitely a bigger deal back then. We've got
Oh yeah, he was.
James Franco in one of his first, very early appearances.
Yeah, with this right around the same time he was doing like Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah,
Freaks and Geeks was 99.
yeah. So it's close in that era. We've also got we've got Marla Sokoloff. She was the girl in she's one of the girls in Dude, Where's My Car, and she's in
She was also in Full House.
Okay. And we've got what's the other girl's name? I'm blanking.
Jodi Lynn O'Keefe.
That's the one. She's in She's All That. So we've got them. We've got Aaron Paul, who is all of 20 years old. We've got
He's adorable.
Colin Hanks.
He was fantastic.
Also very young in this movie.
He was.
And of course, Richard Schiff.
That's right.
Who has the most
Dr. Glassman.
Yeah, the most thankless role in this entire movie. What's my character? Yell out insults about him being a girl and then get hit in the nuts. Cool. Got it.
If this were the Shakespearean piece that it strives to be, he would be like the porter in the Scottish play.
Strives to be. I think you mean accomplishes.
Well, yes, he does. I mean, in my opinion, he's one of the bright spots in this movie. Also the nerds played by Colin Hanks and Aaron Paul. I wanted to see their movie. Yeah, I found the stuff that they did far more interesting than the other stuff that was going on in this movie.
I think if you play an episode of Fargo and Breaking Bad side by side, you'll get an idea of what that might be like.
Yeah.
But Whatever It Takes, 2000. This movie has as far as I'm concerned, an astronomical budget.
Okay.
This movie was made for $32 million.
They spent it all in the pool.
Because I mean,
Yeah.
no one in this movie is a $20 million a movie star.
No.
And guys, this made, and I guess Lindsay contributed to this.
Julia Sweeney. I mean, there's $5 million there right there at least, right?
I really don't think she was making $5 million.
You know, Colin Hanks. It's Tom Hanks' son, so they had to pay him a lot.
Yeah,
for a small role.
He gets the same amount of money as Tom.
Yeah.
This movie made $9 million worldwide.
Oof.
I helped.
You did help.
I helped.
No sequel. However, many other teen movies that are almost the same. So I'm just going to go over the story here real quick, just to kind of give a run around here. It's basically Cyrano de Bergerac. We have Shane West playing a nerd. Okay, sure, whatever you say, movie. And he has a next door neighbor she's his good friend. We can all see that there should be an attraction there, but there's not. It's the typical teen movie trope. He meets up with a jock played by James Franco, which I also think is not so believable. And he's into that girl, but Shane West, the nerdy Shane West, yes, she's all that.
Okay.
Nerdy Shane West is into the popular girl, played by Jodi Lynn O'Keefe. Her name is Ashley, I believe. So they decide, well, we're both kind of into girls that are the opposite from us in terms of personality. So James Franco's like, I'll show you how to be a dickhole so you can hook up with this girl. And you show me how to be a nice guy so I can hook up with this girl. And an arrangement is made. And as Nathan always likes to say, hilarity ensues.
Ugh, blech.
So, right off the bat, the whole opening credits is just someone putting on makeup
And a choker.
and a choker.
Yeah.
And
No, it's a stop motion video first.
it's stop motion, and I thought I saw like a Pokeball.
No.
Okay,
Well, there might have been.
it's just like in her makeup kit.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. That wasn't part of the routine for our old friend Ashley here.
I wouldn't know. I don't wear makeup.
Well, do you have a Pokeball though?
I do.
Oh.
Several.
Oh, okay.
If you
Nathan?
wore makeup, would you keep your Pokeball in your makeup bag?
Yes, I would.
Right.
Well, there
So
you go.
I think it stands to reason that you did see
Yeah.
a Pokeball in the makeup bag.
We did.
Solved. What were they thinking? We meet our two main characters, I guess. Shane West is playing Ryan, and Marla Sokoloff. I'm gonna have a real hard time with that.
Actually, he's playing Brian.
I know. Well, they think his name is Brian.
Yeah.
Is it Sokoloff?
Sokoloff. Is there an L in there?
I just hear
There is
the
an L.
okay.
Okay, so it is Sokoloff. Okay. Well,
Sokoloff,
she plays Maggie, and they're best buds. They've been best buds for a while, and they're driving to school together. They're neighbors. Their balconies are right next to each other, and they're
With
just
a
having
conveniently placed wind machine.
There's other movies that use that trope. The movie Drive Me Crazy, and Archie and Betty in Riverdale.
the balcony thing.
Yeah, the best friend balcony thing.
It's the worst. It is the worst.
But he's driving her to school. They're having some chit chat, pretending that they have these rich lifestyles, and then he kind of casually just drops like, "Yeah, I played accordion last night." And that's the first point I paused the movie and was like, "Back up a second. There is an accordion player as our title character. Okay." Not something that you usually throw in there.
No, unless it's UHF starring Weird Al Yankovic.
I love that movie.
Fantastic movie.
Ryan and Maggie arrive to the school, and we meet all his friends. We meet Aaron Paul, who plays Floyd, who is a straight-up psychopath.
I like Floyd's energy.
Person. It would be uncomfortable energy, I think.
I'm not lying. I would have probably been friends with Floyd, but I would not have obviously been Ryan. But I would absolutely have been friends with Floyd. He seems like an interesting cat to hang out with and to stop staying in touch with after college.
He seems like someone. Yeah, exactly.
Well, you wouldn't be able to get in touch with him because he's Jesse Pinkman now.
This is his origin story.
Yeah.
This is how he first.
I can
goes
see
bad.
it.
Oh, totally. Because this is him trying to be like, throughout the whole movie, he's like, I want to get arrested for malice or whatever.
Chaos.
Yeah, and then when he does, it's like, oh, that was what first got him into the game.
That's how he broke bad.
Yeah. And so they're hanging out, and then we get the arrival of Ashley, the cool, pretty girl, and she's super popular, and everyone loves her, and, Maggie's all, don't bother being into Ashley, Ryan. She's not into you, and she's just a bitch.
Did you see that when they were all pulling up to school, that one kid pulled up, like, riding his dad's garbage truck?
That was
Floyd. That Floyd? Was
Yeah.
it Floyd? Okay.
Yeah.
I
wasn't
so.
totally sure on that because they never touched on it again that I saw.
So Ryan bumps into Ashley, and her lipstick runs all over her face, and we get a little blowjob joke.
Yeah. Oh. Actually, that's what I wrote. Was that a Hummer joke?
I think so. She says
she's never had any complaints about her mouth before.
Yeah, because he's like, it's like that, not convincing awkward teen speak where he's like, oh, sorry about your mouth, which we saw done a lot more aggressively awful in A Talking Cat, but it's also here too. And yeah, she says, that's the first complaint I've had about it, and walks away.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to put in that I watched this movie with one of my friends, and she is 20.
Are you being attacked?
Yeah, are you okay over
No.
there?
Oh, I was just flipping through my notes.
Oh.
Made of
She takes them on
charcoal.
Slateboard.
Good microphone. Anyway, so she's 20. She was born the same year the movie came out. And just watching it with her made me realize how dated it was and how old I am.
Right out of the gate, Ryan was playing accordion the night before, and she made a mixtape.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
Not a mix CD, a mixtape.
a mixtape. It's 2000, but
Yeah.
it's super 90s.
Like,
Yeah.
my friend was, like, screaming, where's their dress code?
Dress code.
And I'm just like, no, there was no dress codes in the 90s.
Yeah, no, because the people just before me hadn't started running things yet.
No.
Well,
no.
and Lindsay, why don't you tell us how you watched this movie as the director intended?
I watched it as the director intended. On my break, I sat in the movie theater and watched the movie. I work in a movie theater and keeping the dream alive right now. I'm still working
Well, good.
by myself alone in the theater.
Watch it on a giant theater screen, just like it was intended.
It was awful.
Well, even if it had been in pristine print, it still would have been terrible.
Yeah.
So, and the name of the establishment and the address, please. No, I'm just joking.
So
Well-
we go from here to a school assembly, starring Julia Sweeney
Yeah.
and a replica of Mariah's penis.
Oh.
How did you not take that note, at least, Brendan?
I don't know.
Really?
I just
I took that note. All caps, giant penis.
Mariah's giant penis, yep.
I was just confused at this just this assembly. I mean, I get it's like sex education, but are these people all in like grade 12?
Yeah, they're seniors.
Yeah. It seems
Was
to
it
be
the
like,
whole? Was it the whole school or just the grade 12 class?
it looks like the whole I don't know. It was weird. I like isn't that usually done in like a class setting, like not
Usually,
in
yes,
front of
but
every
right.
You know, cutbacks.
Yeah.
Well, lazy, terrible Hollywood movies.
And it seems like Julia Sweeney and the baseball coach are the only teachers at that school.
Yep.
Actually, what would have made that whole thing funnier is if that class had just been them in class and her with that giant dong in a small classroom environment. That would have played much funnier than in front of the entire school.
Yeah.
And the giant condom.
I do think it's weird that the school had that as a supply, like that giant penis.
Well, it's a blue state.
Well, everyone had to see
A
it.
throbbing blue state.
Oh, jeez. You're right. Everyone did have to see it. I apologize.
Yeah.
Julia Sweeney is also Ryan's mother, so it's very awkward to watch this assembly. James Franco also makes a comment at this point when Maggie's trying to like walk by him, and he's like, "Gotta pay the toll," and she like threatens to kick him, and he's like, "Only if you're naked." And then his friend in the background right after, you can hear him go like, "Still got it." Got what? I don't think that
False
worked.
high school confidence.
Yeah.
Creepy perv vibes.
Yeah.
Rapey vibes, I wrote.
Throughout.
I knew several people like him in high school.
Like Franco?
Yeah, and his friends. All just painfully unfunny and dumb.
Yeah. Yep. So they get when they're done with that assembly, and Aaron Paul makes a bunch of comments about his mom, and it's come out of a personal collection. Ah! We get his backstory about him like looking at this statue in front of the school where the neck was stolen, and he's
that,
like,
you know what? It's the school. The guy who's the name of the school is after Gilmore. That did not look like Doug Gilmore at all.
"What?" I'm lost.
Doug Gilmore was a hockey player.
Oh, okay.
Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
Toronto Maple Leafs.
Sports ball. And yeah, he's like the neck got stolen off the statue, and I want to live up to that, and I want to get arrested for mayhem. And then literally Colin Hanks just walks into the frame and just to tell us that he's there too.
His name's Cosmo.
It
So
is
I felt he should have skidded into frame and been super jittery with bad hair.
I thought he was going to be like an expert on like women's bodies. But Colin Hanks is here to tell us that most women prefer a man of danger. And that's his line before the scene ends.
Yep.
To which I have written down now, I already find this loathsome.
I don't know why. I mean, it's pretty flawless so far.
Oh my god, I think the worst part about the whole experience, and I should probably wait to the end of this to say this, but it felt like I was watching a really padded out sitcom that had movie production values added to it. It was so tripe. Tripe is a good word, but tropey.
Tripe.
Yeah, it was tropey, and just
Trippy.
Just no, not in the least, because it was just rife with cliches and super predictable.
I don't know, guys. I don't know what's going to happen because I think Ryan and Ashley might actually get together here.
Well, we won't know, but because first we have Dr. Glassman shows up as the baseball coach.
Oh, yeah. What's his
Richard Schiff?
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Also, I noticed one of the producers also had the last name Schiff. I'm like, nepotism much?
You think he owed him a favor?
Yeah. Oh, that actually, you know what? That's probably more accurate. But yeah, he's like the baseball coach, and the joke there is that he keeps saying like, "Come on, girls, stop being like a girl, stop being a little bitch," and shit like that.
Which is again super cliched and tropey. Yeah.
He's just the angry gym teacher.
Let's
I guess,
go,
baseball
ladies! This isn't a picnic.
coach. Yeah. Floyd, Aaron Paul. I'll just say Floyd. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Floyd is talking about like, why don't you? So you're taking Maggie to the prom, eh? Because we learned that Ryan's and Maggie are going to go to the prom because they don't have dates.
Wait, who's Floyd?
Floyd is fuck.
Aaron Paul.
And then yeah, he says like, well, you know what? Why don't you just date Maggie? And Shane West or Ryan or whatever says, well, it'd be kind of like dating my sister, to which Floyd responds, that's okay in some parts of the world.
See, he's an open-minded individual.
He is off-putting.
Such a great energy. I would have made the worst life choice and been best friends with him.
Well, hopefully he never did this to you, Nathan, because in the next scene, Floyd is like, come with me, Ryan. I got this great underground operation that you can come to, and I'll pay for it, and you'll be thankful you did.
I'm not going to lie to you. When I was in high school, if there had been somebody like that, they would have been my best friend.
Oh, man. A nightmare world for that locker room. So he goes down to, like, the basement, and they pay the creepy maintenance dude to like take Ryan through the basement and into the women's locker room where all the ladies are changing and taking their showers. And at first you're like, oh, okay. Like Ryan gets in there and he's like, oh God, I'm in the women's locker room. What the hell? Like I gotta get out of here. And then he sees Ashley and he just stands there and leers at her for like a minute. And you're like,
drools.
Oh.
I feel that this movie has put us on some sort of list. At least me and Brendan.
Yeah. It was weird. If it was Floyd that went in there, I'd be like, okay, kind of goes with his character. He's crazy and weird and funny and kind of a creep. But like the guy that we're supposed to be like is the compassionate nerd. Like
we're supposed to be sympathetic for him,
right?
Yeah, but he's kind of bamboozled into it by Floyd too. Don't forget. He
certainly doesn't leave because he wants to though for any kind of honorable reason.
Oh yeah, because high school boys are so rife and brimming with honor.
No, but I mean, if you're gonna have your main character, you give him like some fucking likable traits.
I hate to say this, but being a straight male, and that time was a positive trait, even if he was doing it in a creepy way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it makes him creepy right off the bat. And we're supposed to be on his side. I'm not on his side here.
Now, no, but then
also,
totally fine for people to do that. in movies.
Maybe for movies.
Yes, for movies.
I
And
don't-
if he got caught in real life, the argument would have, well, boys will be boys. Don't ever do that again.
That's a very sad statement on the
That's-
world, Nathan.
That's true. But also, how do they have time to shower after gym class? We had 5 minutes to get dressed and go to our next class.
It's because it's a lazy Hollywood movie.
That's true.
And written by people who have no idea how school or teenagers work.
Oh,
Yeah,
this
because
is,
I would never shower around anyone ever.
this is written by like 50-year-old white men. Let's just face it.
Yes.
Yeah, so I wrote Ryan, our hero, gets out of the women's locker room, and then he runs into Chris, James Franco's character, and Chris is like
And
a creepo too. What were you gonna say?
trolling for skank.
Oh yeah, he's like, "What are you doing? Like trolling for skank, skanking for troll?" And I'm like, "No one talks like that."
Well, if he was trolling for skank, that would mean he was looking for heroin, wouldn't it?
Is that what that means?
Skag, skank, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll buy that for $1.
Smack.
Well, I mean, that now we're just naming the nicknames for
Skink.
Did
heroin.
you say stink?
Skink.
Skank. Which I think is some sort of cave salamander type.
So here we get the real premise of the movie, because Chris is like, "Listen, your friend Maggie, I'm really into her, but she doesn't like me, and I know you're into my cousin Ashley," which I was surprised he said my cousin, because I thought
Yeah.
right here I was like, "Oh, the twist is that they're gonna switch girls," and then they made it really apparent right now that is not gonna happen. And
Yeah.
if it did, it would have been even weirder.
I just said it in Alabama. I mean,
It's in California.
oh, so I just changed the setting to Alabama. I mean,
He's basically trying to get his cousin laid. It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's still kind of weird.
you know what? You do that for family. You do for family. That's what you do.
No.
Get them get them set up so they get
Hold
their on.
Hold on, not only is he trying to get his cousin laid, he's trying to trick her into getting laid.
Now, to be fair,
Fair.
he doesn't exactly have the most altruistic reasons as to why he's hooking up his cousin, or thinks he's hooking up his cousin. He's actually hooking this guy up with his cousin so he can hook up with this guy's friend.
Oh, both of them are garbage humans. Like this whole premise,
All of them.
This whole premise of the switch is like they're both kind of shitty. Like,
Yeah. I'll say this though. Ryan is more compost heap, whereas James Franco is buried in a landfill garbage. Like no redeeming qualities to it whatsoever.
yeah.
I mean, at least with compost, you can grow stuff with, right? Make your lawn nice and green and whatnot.
So he's like, yeah, so you help me. I'll help you hook up with my cousin Ashley. You help me hook up with Maggie. What do you say? And his first response is, why Maggie? You could date anyone.
He sends a Cyrano de idiot email.
Oh, yeah. What the fuck is his name? Chris sends an email to Ashley as Ryan, but he puts Brian and has a bunch of typos. He's like, no,
Because
trust
he
me.
doesn't know his name.
Yeah.
And your hair's kind of butchy.
Yeah, your hair's kind of butchy. And he's like, no, she'll love this. You got to insult her. Girls love when you insult them. Lindsay, this is true, right?
So true. I also liked it when boys pushed me down the schoolyard, and pulled my hair, and called me ugly.
I hate to say this, those guys are just finding the girl that's right for them. The one that'll let them push them around and call them names. There's nothing to do with legitimately liking. Again, it's a power thing.
It's true. And
And
honestly, though,
They find girls.
but when it happened, the teachers would just say, oh, it means he likes you.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's awful.
So,
This
yeah.
movie just perpetuates that.
It really does. Yeah, it's yeah. So he sends off that email. Meanwhile, Ryan agrees to bring Maggie to this house party, which they go to with not Kid in play, but Floyd, Cosmo, and some other dude that's got like a
Dunn Levy.
Is that what his name is?
Yeah.
He
Dunn
kind of
Levy?
provided some of my only laughs in this movie. But just with his like
Barely
side
talked.
Yeah. Well, just with his side comments, like at one point someone says like, "Oh, has she ever talked about me?" And he's like, "No, man." And then you just hear him go, "Bitch."
Can we call him not Napoleon Dynamite?
Not oh
Basically.
yeah, I like that actually.
I do like that.
So yeah, Cosmo, Floyd, and not Napoleon Dynamite. Cosmo is wearing a suit because he was told to dress up. Ryan makes his move on Ashley by going up to the bathroom and staring at her. And then she says, "Go ahead." And Floyd arrives just in time to say, he's got to take a shit." Meanwhile, Chris makes his move with Maggie, and apparently Ryan sent her an email of like poetry and shit, pretending it was from Chris. And he goes, "Yeah, does it get you hot?" And of course she's like, "Fuck off."
Yeah, because she's the only smart person in the whole movie.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. She's the
Yeah.
smartest.
So they've both
person.
been shot down super hard.
Meanwhile, Floyd
and-
finds out it's good to be girls like an asshole, so he just throws a firecracker at them.
Yes, he throws a firecracker at some girls in the pool.
At one girl's boob.
Oh,
Yeah.
throws it at her boob, right?
There's a boob right out there.
And then Chris is like, "Yeah, no, just push her in the pool."
Yeah, just push Ashley in the pool.
I
She'll
got
like it.
they were both being jerks, and I got them crossed. I got the wires crossed on that one. Yeah, he just like you said,
No, he
throws
shoves Ryan into her.
so it looks like Ryan threw her in the pool.
Yeah.
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 I'd also like to point out her dress was atrocious.
Ashley's?
Oh yeah, she was naked.
Yeah, so
Basically.
I actually that's where I got my first time I noted I'm on a list now, aren't I?
Well, I mean, Nathan, you can rest easy because I'm pretty sure none of these people are actually teenagers.
No,
Well-
they're all about 20, I'm sure. 20 to
Well, they're all over the age.
40 years old, you know.
20 to
Okay.
40. Yeah, they're all at least 20.
At least.
Which, you know what? I got to say, too, kind of surprising because another trope of teen movies around this time was a lot of like 25 to 30-year-olds playing like 17-year-olds. So it was kind of surprising.
None of them looked like teenagers.
No, they didn't.
Except maybe Maggie. She sort of had the young face. And Aaron Paul.
Aaron Paul looked
He was pretty young.
looked like a baby.
Yes.
Yeah, his head was huge, like a baby.
Yeah, and he was goo goo gagaing the whole movie. It was weird.
Yeah. We get our next. Is this our first rendition, or our the first time, or is this another episode of Balcony Talk?
Oh, Balcony Talk. Yes, my favorite talk show. Where
Balcony talk.
Ryan wakes up Maggie with a laser pointer in her eyes.
Yeah, that's safe.
And then they introduced this thing that I thought was kind of a weird plot device where he's like Maggie's like, "I don't know about Chris, like he's weird, like he sent me a bunch of poetry but it didn't mean anything, like he's still like just a jock." And then Ryan goes, "Why don't you send her one of your famous Maggie Carter soul quizzes?"
Ugh.
I'm like,
Yeah,
"What?"
like she's like, see, Cosmo gave that to her.
Yeah.
It's from Cosmo.
This is from Cosmo. Which I thought that was an odd plot device. Like,
Wow.
Lindsay, did people in high school send out soul quizzes in order to see if they
Yes.
should date each other?
Yes, they did.
What?
Yes.
Yeah, Brendan.
From like 17 magazine, Teen magazine, Cosmo Teen. We get those quizzes and we give them to people to do, and
Brendan, I don't know how to break this to you, pal. You weren't popular in high school.
Listen, I thought those were optional soul quizzes.
No one gave you a soul quiz, did they, bud?
I did the ones that are online yesterday.
What were they awkwarding? This has been what were they awkwarding?
BuzzFeed, you lied to me again. Son of a bitch.
I did find it fun that they had a wind machine that only worked on one side of the building. Every time, what's her name again?
Maggie.
Maggie. Every time she would talk, there would just be an ever so slight breeze blowing her hair around. But you know, whenever Ryan would talk, it's just dead calm.
Yep. Well,
And-
she's got to have the hair blowing in the wind effect.
Yeah, and I don't want to, spoiler alert. We find out like at the end of the movie that they apparently were right next to the ocean the entire time.
Oh yeah.
Do we
It's
not?
California.
But do we not see them pull up several times in what looks like an enclosed subdivision type situation? Mm-hmm. So there's no ocean near them. It's just added at the end of the movie for that effect to explain
Because
why.
California.
Yeah, right.
It's a real a talking cat situation where the establishing shots don't match up at all.
They don't sync up at all, eh?
Yeah. But yeah, so they have he tries to get her to send Chris a soul quiz, and she does. Mm-hmm. And Ryan answers the quiz for him, of course. And he's like, "Don't you want to know the answers?" And Chris is like, "No, just write good stuff. That might come back to haunt him later in the film." That's what we call foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this is a crazy scene. So this is like where he has to Ryan tries to convince Maggie to go on a double date.
Yes.
That whole phone call thing. What?
And this is where we get the first view of Chris's room, and we find out that he is
a musician.
Well, he also not Ryan's the musician. Chris has got Pam Anderson dresser.
That's true. Oh yes.
And one of the middle drawers is the crotch.
Mm-hmm. And he pulls on it.
It's just unfortunate. He is just a terrible, terrible, irredeemable individual.
Yeah.
And he's not even that built.
And I would have paid good money for that dresser when I was his age.
What was that? What was that again, Nathan?
No, nothing. I was just thinking out loud. It's easier that way.
No, he doesn't look like a jock at all. Like, I'm sorry, I don't buy him as a football player.
Like, he looks like a Calvin Klein model, maybe, but not a jock.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this: quarterbacks aren't always big guys, and receivers, and running backs, not always the biggest dudes either. So,
well, so this scene, Maggie is getting cold feet about the double date, and
maybe she should turn off that wind machine.
So she calls up Chris and tries to cancel, but Ryan swoops in and he's like, "No, Chris, don't go back on the line. Tell her you gotta go." And then eventually they get caught up in some fucking contrived situation where all three of them are on the line. And
he tells Chris to say, "Oh, tell her you're upset because your dad's on crack."
Yeah, he's like, "My dad plays football."
And I legitimately laughed at that line because at the time, not now, but at the time, the NFL was rife with drug abusers. Mm-hmm. Not now.
No, now they're. I believe everyone there is straight edge.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Sainted choir boys.
But he does. They basically all get caught on the line, so Ryan is stuck and he has to do an impression of Chris and pretend to be him. Of which I gotta say, he is no James Franco.
I hate this movie.
And he. Oh my god. So.
But he starts running his voice through a sound modulator.
But like, it sounded so different before that. Like, he does the voice, or he does an impression for like a little bit, and then he's like, and like suddenly it's through the sound modulator. I'm like, I know we said Maggie is like one of the smarter characters in this movie, but how do you not know that it's not him?
No. Well, to be fair, this is before cell phones, and those phones were really crappy. And they all had those early 2000s cordless phones, and they just sounded like garbage, so I can believe it.
It's
Plus, he was sad because his dad was on crack.
It's also so crazy that he adjusts it so quick to like where James Franco's voice should be. I'm like,
I know.
Do you have like a setting on your audio equipment for every person in the school? Like,
just lower the pitch.
It's creepy. It's creepy.
Doesn't he? He does get his way though, which leads to an impromptu accordion concert, doesn't it?
Oh, he play that funky music on the accordion.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Which I guess the filmmakers just thought, hey, he'll play the accordion and it'll be funny because it's the accordion, right? We don't need any jokes.
It's supposed to. Well, no, it's not, and it's supposed to make him look like a nerd. But even him playing the accordion, they had him do it shirtless, and it's like, is he supposed to be undesirable because I mean I'm not a teenage girl from 2000, but speaking as someone who can kind of envision, I know, right? I'm dropping this on you at such an inappropriate time, Brendan.
What?
But no, I feel that even with the accordion added, there would still be no problem with what was going on if I were a teenage girl in the year 2000.
Yeah,
No.
he's not he's not believable as like some undesirable
Repulsive nerd, exactly.
Yeah. He usually played the hot jock in most of the other movies he was in.
Yeah.
He played James Franco's character usually.
Honestly, if they had been switched, I think it might have been more believable. I think I might believe Shane West more as a jock and James Franco more as like a sensitive guy. Just saying. But they go on a double date to the carnival.
And there's a mini Hugh Laurie running the one of the rides.
But Ashley is not afraid to start dropping some slurs towards our little
person, mini Hugh Laurie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just
He's a mini home.
just casually just dropping those M words on him.
He's a mini home. So it's like a small house.
Boom.
Well, it was the 90s. It was a different time.
Yeah.
Stuff just went then.
Yeah. So boop. They go on the ride. They go on a ride together, and Ashley just vomits all over Ryan. Hilarious.
She's gonna puke.
That's basically what I was saying. The whole time.
Got it in.
Just chug that pop there.
yeah. She chugs the slushy before she gets on. Just an example of how, like one of the many examples, but how stupid this movie thinks its audience is, because there's a moment here where Ryan looks at Maggie. There's even like a close up on her to show that she's wearing Chris's shirt, and they still ADR'd the line in where Ryan is like, "You're wearing his shirt," because clearly he did not say it on the set because his back is to us. And then, but they also filmed James Franco walking by him and saying, "What? She was cold." It's like they're not going to get that she's wearing his shirt. You better add that line in.
Even though it shows it front and center, she's wearing his damn shirt.
I have to ask about no, I'm not asking, maybe later. His cousin, is she supposed to be drunk or drugged or something? Because did I miss a scene?
No, that's just her.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like, we see her at school, and she seemed fairly put together.
We're referring to Ashley, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. She seemed to be, somewhat witty and sophisticated, I guess, for lack of a better term. We go to the party. You know what I mean. For someone of her intellectual standing. We go to the party, and she seems, here she seems like she's like a wild person on a bender.
Well, I almost
she's like, "Woo, make it go fast, little man."
I also thought that, or like I was like, are they trying to say that she has like some sort of disability? Like, is that where we're going with this?
So I wasn't sure. I thought I had missed the scene where she downed a bunch of drinks or like took some ecstasy or something.
No, the movie's just purposely going out of its way to make her seem undesirable.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like as soon as he starts to date her, she just becomes like a crazy person.
It's like the Ben Stiller movie, the Heartbreak Kid.
Shawn Michaels?
There we go, another one.
Ben Stiller, yeah.
Ben Stiller, the Heartbreak Kid.
I did like that that Shane had to wear a Furby shirt that was for
for a child.
It's very funny.
Yeah, he wears an undersized Furby shirt
t-shirt
because of the puking by Ashley.
Now, there's a one-off scene where they just cut over to the nerds doing their thing, and so we get a joke about dial-up porn at the end of the 90s, and then that's about it.
Yep.
For that whole thing, it makes no sense because then they just go back to the Ferris wheel where we get to see Ferris wheel conversations.
It's clearly just to be like, oh, we need another quick scene to pad out this movie.
Yeah.
But when they... sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say that I have in my notes here. I quoted my friend a lot, and at one point she just yelled, "This is violently 90s."
Late 90s. You should tell your friend just throwing words together doesn't make them a thing. Stop trying to make fetch happen.
They get home from the carnival, and
Oh my
Ashley
God.
sucks Ryan's finger.
That was
Yeah, his puke finger.
unsettling.
Yeah, I don't know
Unsettling.
what they were going for, but it wasn't super, like, it wasn't, like, seductive.
No. He looked upset, too.
I think Shane West was upset. I think he's trying to look like he's into it, but he's just kind of like...
No way he could act a reaction where he wasn't thoroughly off-put.
Yeah, I do like that Chris puts his finger near Maggie, and she's like, shakes his hands like, good night.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, don't touch me.
Yeah. But we're moving into phase 2 of the plan, because Chris tells Ryan, you know what Ashley really likes? Football. So come play football with us. She's going to be so turned on. And he just gets crushed.
Ugh.
But she liked it.
Oh, she likes it, and she says she's clearly turned on by the violence, and she goes, pick me up tomorrow at 7.
All I can think is if these plans went off without a hitch and they didn't have any redemption in the story at all, Ryan and Ashley would just have the worst courtship story. Where she threw up on him, gave him a finger job goodnight on their first date, and then watched him get his C4 vertebrae crushed by a bunch of jocks from the football team.
That's a story for the grandkids.
So hot.
She does seem like the type of girl that wants to be choked.
You know what? She makes a solid point there.
I'm glad I'm not the one that said it, but okay.
No kink shaming, but yeah.
Yeah, no, she's
No,
Just,
kink
she
shaming,
just
no.
seems like the type.
Yeah, she's wild. I get it. So in return for this, Chris is like, well, how are you gonna help me out with Maggie? And he's like, well, you gotta go work at this old folks home. And he's like,
It was fun to see Cosmo and Floyd be like the Statler and Waldorf of the football game.
Oh, when Floyd says, I used to play a little ball back in my day.
Yeah, and they're just like they just cut every once in a while for one-off lines from him and Cosmo.
Yeah.
I want their movie. I mean, I could probably just watch Superbad, but I want their movie.
Yep. So Chris is working at old folks' home. He starts eating the old lady's Jell-O.
She does not like that.
She doesn't like that, so he steals the old man's Jell-O beside her to give to her.
I wish the old guy in the next bed would have been Abe Vigoda.
Right?
That would have been great.
You're a schmuck.
Yeah, I would have had two favorite parts of this movie: Abe Vigoda and Richard Schiff.
Also, don't forget James Franco yelling "old smelly people" and "you think that's gay."
Oh yeah, that's my
Yes.
next line, because he's like,
Yeah.
he asked Maggie, like, you think that's gay that I work here? And she's like, no, that's great.
What? He seems awfully homophobic.
Yeah,
which was the style at the time.
That's true, but
He's-
James Franco.
Yeah, he's the 90s. He's the 90s jock, I guess. He drops an F later though that I was kind of surprised by.
I wasn't.
Oh, I was a little bit. I mean, I obviously get the lines like, is it gay? Do you think that's gay? But like when he dropped the other one, I was like, oh wow, okay, pushing it a little bit.
Yeah.
It's the 90s.
Not at that point in time. He wasn't.
Ugh.
No.
No.
Yeah. Plenty of 90s movies that don't have that.
Old lady farts. Old lady farts are next.
Yeah, he drags her to the bathroom and she's farting because that's hilarious.
She's humping him and farting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he's like, he gives her a ride over to the theater, and she says, she's designing the sets. She's not much of a thespian. To which he says, well, that's good because like if you're into chicks, we wouldn't be able to do anything. You get it?
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. That sound you're making is actually the appropriate response. No. Take that off. Just that.
Sorry. We get the get the Cyrano de Bergerac scene.
Which I
This
mean,
part is so creepy.
they're in they're in a theater. Now, theaters are supposed to be known to have good acoustics. How could she not hear the other person talking to him?
And he was down in the pit where it's supposed to echo up.
Yes.
Pretty sure that's where the band plays, isn't it?
That's the idea. Yep.
Well, yeah, because if James Franco can hear him perfectly where he is, there's no reason she can't.
No. She should at least be able to hear, if not like the words perfectly, she should at least be able to hear.
He wasn't even whispering. He was talking.
Yeah, he straight up just talks.
Yes, and with the acoustics in the place, she should have been able to hear his voice.
And he feeds him. He feeds Chris. Ryan feeds Chris the line to be like, you know, whatever. He feeds her lines, and then he kind of realizes like, "Wow, you're beautiful." And Chris goes, "You're beautiful." But that's Ryan's moment of realization that Maggie.
His aha.
Yeah, that Maggie is beautiful. As if that's like a moment in the movie where we go, "Oh, she is beautiful." Like we knew from the first moment this movie started, she was an attractive girl. Like,
yeah.
It's like not even the she's all that thing where it's like, oh, she has glasses. No. Like she's automatically shown to be an attractive girl. Mm-hmm. So I don't know why the way the light hits her, that Ryan's just like, oh, she is attractive. Fuck off.
Shit.
Fuck off, movie.
Yes.
And Chris gets his first kiss with her. My next note I wrote here is Ryan polishes his accordion, and no, that's not a euphemism.
Oh, my note here was wind machine hair, and where is Richard Schiff? I was promised Richard Schiff.
Yeah, he's not in much of this movie. I'm sorry.
I know.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, they have another balcony conversation. It's not really anything though. Floyd wants to bring hookers to the prom.
Good for Floyd. This is their movie would have been proto Superbad. Because it would have been great. I would have loved to have seen this movie. Floyd bringing hookers to the prom. That's fantastic. A great idea.
And then Ryan really becomes a villain after this because he's hanging out with his buddies, and he goes over to where like Ashley and the upper class kids, I guess, are, and they're like, you're hanging out with losers, so you must be a loser. And it's that weird scene where he's like, give me a letter of the alphabet, and it's like J, and he's like, they're jerks, they're jack-offs. I'm like, what?
Such a cringy scene.
Oh, it was terrible.
Such a weird execution of that kind of scene that we've all seen in so many teen movies or so many movies, where the good guy is like trying to be an asshole to impress someone. Yeah.
Yeah.
But not that cringeworthy.
No, it's just like, what is this alphabet bullshit?
And I don't even understand why his friends are mad at him.
That way he's making a fun, delightful game of it that all the jocks can get in on. And even some of the nerds.
But they have to know the alphabet to play.
Well, I mean, they just need to know letters from the alphabet.
True.
They only have to shout out one letter, right?
You're asking a lot.
I know.
Yeah, so he and then, of course, Floyd and Cosmo and the other guy are like, fuck you, dude.
As they are right to do.
As they should.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then we go to Ryan. Oh, Ryan pretty much brushes it off pretty quickly. He's like, oh, fuck. Well, whatever. Move along, I guess. And he goes on a date with Ashley at the restaurant where she starts toying with his crotch with her foot.
Boots him right in the groin.
Yeah. And we get a hilarious joke where they ask him what he wants, and he's like, crushed ice.
Awful.
But it's the thing that bothers me in movies, because the waiter then walks away, and I'm like, wait, is that all you're ordering for supper? Because he actually was taking your supper order, dude. I know you wanted to make that joke about your balls, but, like, you're there to eat.
Brendan, stop trying to add real life to this awful, awful movie.
I have to. It keeps me sane.
Oof, I think it's actually working against that.
Listen, just because you're composed of 3 butterflies flying in a mirage over a sewer made of dead ponies doesn't make me crazy.
I think it does.
Well, that's your prerogative,
Agree to
three-headed
disagree.
iguana.
Thought it was butterflies.
I don't know what's going on.
It's clearly you're great.
Moving on. Ashley and Ryan head back to her place.
Yeah.
And she says,
dun, dun, dun.
And this was a weird bit because she's like, I'm going to go in the shower.
Isn't there a bit scene in between where Chris and Maggie go to a party, and the guys are being like just repulsive pigs, and
This is true, yes.
one of the airhead girls says, "Oh, get used to it," and I was like, you know what? Truer words have never been spoken. Because guys like that, 9 times out of 10, don't grow out of that, and girls who were super into them in high school are still super into them when they're in their 40s.
And pregnant with their children.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maggie, welcome to a new personal hell.
Yeah.
But Ashley is like, and Ryan are back at her place, and she says like, I'm gonna go take a shower. Maybe you can join me. And then he tries to, and she's like, get out!
Yeah, awful.
Well, she was shaving her mustache.
That was so funny. She was
Actually, she might have been
naring.
bleaching it.
I thought it was Nair.
But again, it's so weird because like it's like they introduce like she's supposed to be like the hot girl in school, and then they just introduce all these things that I guess make her like physically undesirable.
I guess.
Yeah.
But
her
like
syphilis feet.
She's
her
already
mental instability.
Yeah, like but she's already evil. Like I don't think we need any of it. Meanwhile,
they just want to show you that popular people have flaws too.
See, I don't feel necessarily that she's evil. It's just that she's simple and painfully uninteresting, which is perfectly fine because there are people who want simple, painfully uninteresting people as their soulmates. A guy like Ryan, not one of those people.
No, Chris, yes.
Yes, exactly.
Well, Chris and Maggie are watching Casablanca in a theater, and it looks like a theater as if it was open today because everyone's spaced out real well. And they just start making
social distancing.
Who's going to go see Casablanca at a theater? I mean, really, Brendan? It's an old movie. It's in black and white. They're terrible.
They have to. Have you noticed how movies movies and TV shows only play old movies and TV shows because they don't want to pay for the rights of actual movies?
Oh yeah, 1000%.
Is Casablanca in the public domain?
Yeah.
No,
but I don't think it's public
think
domain.
so.
I think it's just cheaper to use.
Yeah, it's probably just cheap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like someone's leaving money on the table, if you ask me.
Wait, what?
I'm just saying it is a classic. I think they could probably charge more for the rights.
I thought you were slagging Casablanca there. I was like,
No, not at all.
oh, okay.
I mean, Citizen Kane, hack job, but
Yeah.
just garbage.
Who directed that? David DeCoto?
I mean, it's like it's right up there with Gone with the Wind. Just terrible trash cinema.
Oh boy.
Man, don't even get me started on Dr. Zhivago.
Well,
It's too long.
I was gonna say that movie's good, but I understand criticism.
I mean, it's the big cage, right?
The what now?
The big cage, or is it the bird cage?
Oh, the bird cage.
Bird cage.
No, not the bird cage. I think it's the big cage. It's the 70s.
The Big Chill.
It's the
The Big Chill?
70s exploitation
So
movie.
not Robin Williams?
With Pam Grier and who else? I think Sid Haig is in it too. I wish Brent were here. He would know. He's seen it.
Girls in a Cage.
It is. It's yeah. Maybe it's. Pretty sure it's the big cage. You guys continue on. I'm gonna take a look here.
Well, they go in anyway. Chris and Maggie are going to see Casablanca. They make out. And then Ashley says something that kind of gets under Ryan's skin because she's like, Chris is probably just gonna bang Maggie and then dump her like all the rest.
Nail and bail.
Yeah.
That's what he said. Yeah.
Fucking Chuck.
So after
I want to keep this PG-13.
Sorry, cut that out.
Oh yeah.
No, I mean
yeah.
that's why they want to keep it. That's why they say nail and bail.
This podcast is not
Nail and
PG-13.
Yeah.
Lindsay, you can say fuck all you fucking want.
It's the Big Bird Cage. That's the name of the movie. The Big Bird Cage.
Big Bird Cage.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not Robin Williams.
No, not the Bird Cage. The Big Bird Cage.
Jim Henson's
Okay.
The Big Bird Cage.
Actually, it's Jim Henson's The Big Bird Cage Babies.
Oh God. With Pam Grier?
Pam Grier as nanny.
Oh my God. It's a gritty.
They just
reboot,
shoot her
though.
from the knees down with those striped socks.
So whatever it takes.
Yeah, to avoid watching this movie.
Ashley has a moment where she is again has like a comically villainous part, comically evil when she makes fun of a rotund waitress.
Oh,
Rotund.
yeah.
and calls her a gross fatty and sends the cake back.
Fat shames her.
She's eaten the entire cake, and she's like, ew, this is disgusting. And it's just like, you got to hate this girl. You better hate this character. We're going to make sure. It's like, we already hate her, dude.
And to drive it home, she says a tiger can't change its spots. And I was just like, oh, my God, you're the worst.
Yeah.
Just the worst.
And
she's wearing nipple tape for a bra at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Because she's not wearing a bra.
She's not.
After Franco drops the other F-bomb with his buddies, Ryan comes over and confronts him, and he's basically like, yeah, nail and bail, dude. That's what I'm going to do to Maggie. Nothing you can do about it, bro. Peace. Those are the lines.
And then we get to see Ryan give a line drive to Richard Schiff right in the nuts.
Yep, he finally hits that baseball right in the nuts. Ball shot, hilarious.
So, okay, I guess at this point of the movie, I have to find out why they went through all the trouble of presenting Ryan as a jock when he's clearly on the baseball team.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If he's supposed to be like a nerd, why is he? Yeah, it doesn't really.
I don't mind him being on the baseball team. That's perfectly fine. But to have them be like, oh no, we really got to play up the fact that you're a jock. We really got to play that up. It's like, how much more playing up to it do you need? He is on an affiliated high school team.
Yeah. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Floyd's on that team too.
It could be a gym class.
But I think, but he only plays baseball. I think he's specifically the baseball
they're
coach.
wearing baseball uniforms. That's not gym class uniform.
It's true.
No. So this is where Ryan, after this, Ryan tries to tell Meg what's going on, and we also find out the theme of the school's prom.
Oh my God!
Titanic Dreams.
What a terrible theme.
Poor taste.
Was it too soon?
No.
It's only 2 years after the movie.
It's 2 years after the movie.
I'm saying too soon in regards to the tragedy.
No, but I
yeah,
mean,
too
like,
soon.
any tragedy as a prom theme is weird to me.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, again, Brendan.
That's the gag. That's the gag.
Yep, that's the gag.
But like, I would understand it more if it was like more in tune with the movie. But it's just like Titanic. There's no like mention of the movie anywhere. I just thought that was crazy.
Oh, there is. They mentioned the movie.
Oh well,
They
later
do.
when they do the stupid reference to it.
Well, no, because when they say what it is, Aaron Paul's character don't they know how many people died on that thing? And then one of the other nerds goes, it was a really popular movie.
Yeah.
Again, it's a screenplay thing though, where you're like, oh, people will think this is insensitive. Let's just tell them that we know it is.
Yeah.
That's not a way out.
Yeah.
But yeah, the prom is Titanic themed, and the baseball coach is apparently also like the MC for the prom.
But a
In
chaperone.
his baseball uniform.
Well, he's a gym coach, right? And that's the trope that they'll dress sort of appropriately, but still be incorporating their regular gym attire.
I wanted Coach Steve to be the MC. You know.
Yes, Coach Steve.
We do get a promposal from Ashley to Ryan, where she just shows up on his lawn in her bikini, yelling, "Go to the prom with me." I mean, it's no say anything, but whatever it takes. I mean, just saying.
Hey.
Hey.
Where is Mariah? I was hoping Mariah just like sock you on right in the ribs if I did that.
with did you say with her dick?
No, if I said
That's
that.
what I heard. That's what I heard.
Although she could. I mean,
she could. It would cause some major
damage.
bruising. Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
We do. So we have some more random shittiness from Ashley, where she wants to charge someone $20 for a yearbook autograph. Floyd is just perving all over the room, as Floyd does.
Want his movie so bad.
And they got their hookers.
Yeah, well, Cosmo, like Colin Hanks, also shows up. He's like, "My date is a divorcee," and they're like, "Okay, Cosmo." And then the joke is that he's not lying, and he has a divorcee.
Yes.
She has a child.
So much more interesting movie.
Child.
So much more interesting.
So Colin Hanks would be 18, though, right? His character.
I
Yeah.
guess.
Like, how old is
They'd
she
be good
supposed to be?
Seniors.
Well, she's got a kid, maybe in her 30s.
40.
Okay.
30. She looked about 40.
Yeah.
She could be 40. Or 30, like a hard 35.
Yeah.
Like 90s, 30.
Because they do end up going back to the hotel later.
Yeah.
It's like, where's the kid going? Wait in the hall, sweetie. Mommy's got to make good with a date. Just wait out in the hall.
Mommy needs this.
Mommy needs this. This makes mommy feel younger again. We didn't mention enough about Julia Sweeney because she's also probably a bright spot in this movie because she does what she can.
Yes.
And Ryan's kind of awful to her, honestly. She says something along like she makes him dance with her at the prom, and she says it's getting late, and his response is you're getting old. Like, not when she's Julia Sweeney.
Oh no,
That's Pat, guys.
Could also be your dad. I mean, no one really knows.
No one ever found out. The movie did not answer the questions. We needed the sequel, and the first one didn't make enough money.
Didn't make enough sense either.
Coming soon.
Ugh. Do it back to back with Stewart.
That one's probably better, I think.
Yeah.
I don't remember it very well.
Yeah.
So Ryan gets on stage, and he does an accordion ballad.
Yeah.
it's so cringy.
Yeah. What is he playing? Because that tune did sound familiar. Did anybody?
I wish I knew because it did sound familiar, but I didn't.
Okay.
Did not look.
I didn't write it down, but I knew what it was.
Yeah. It was a familiar tune, but he plays it, and Maggie is all like, "Fuck this, I'm out." Meanwhile, Floyd is, he wants to get arrested for mayhem, so he's planning the perfect elaborate setup. He makes the floor open up, revealing the pool underneath the gym floor,
which we failed to mention earlier.
And I, having not remembered that the pool was the same place as the gym, I was like, what? They went all out with this theme.
Yeah.
And it's clearly just so we can have our Titanic jokes here.
Yeah, and the fact that people are pretending to fall into the water.
Yeah.
They should have really played. They should have really played that music that the band plays in the movie. That would have been great.
They just kept playing.
Yeah, they said the band geeks be like, "Well, gentlemen, it's been an honor playing with you."
I was actually thoroughly upset that no one was destroyed by a propeller prop. just cut into a million pieces.
Fucking dies in the middle of this prom.
Yeah. Oh, they could have queued up that Papa Roach song too.
Yeah.
Last Resort.
My life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cutting that person's life into pieces.
Actually, my favorite part was when the bigger girl pushed Ashley in the pool.
That was fantastic. I did note that. I did love that. That was great.
She got her revenge.
Got it back on her. Mm-hmm.
I would have done the same thing.
So Floyd runs out, and the cops are arriving, and Ryan kind of looks at him, and he's like, "That guy planned the whole thing," and you're like, "Wait, what?" "Oh, Floyd wants that." Okay. So he gets arrested, and all the girls are like, "Wow, he's so hot." and blink and you'll miss him, but David Koechner is one of the cops.
Yeah.
The sheriff.
Yeah, he's a sheriff. I thought that was like, I was like, oh, well, okay, he's in this movie too. Cool.
He didn't. Was he performing "Melt with You"? Was that the song?
What is it?
"Melt with You."
I'm not
I'll
sure.
stop the world and melt with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the one. There we go. Solved.
Got it solved. That's what I do.
So now that the prom is over, it's time for everybody to go back to the hotel room and start fucking.
Well, yeah. It's
typical.
Rite of passage.
Yeah. Chris and Maggie go to the hotel room, and, she wants it to be extra special. And keep in mind, we've already had the confession scene, so she kind of has an idea that he might not be on the up and up.
Yes. I also want to note when Floyd got arrested, when David shows up to arrest him, he goes out of his way to, "I'll take care of this one." And
yes.
Please tell me I'm not the only one who was like, "I know who that is."
Oh, I knew.
Oh no, I thought. Okay, you know what I thought was gonna happen, and I don't know why, because it didn't. There's nothing in this movie led up to this, but I thought David Koechner was going to try to assault him.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
I mean-
I knew who he was, but then I also made assaulting jokes.
He took out a shovel that he started up like a shotgun, and then handed it to him. I was like, "Oh, he's gonna make him dig his own grave."
I think that was the point.
Yeah. No, I totally thought David Koechner was gonna be like, "You looked good in there."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, it's 2000. It's a teen movie. It's possible."
No,
That's true.
But I guess we'll.
It's whatever it takes, not the human centipede, Brendan.
Should have been.
Well, I would have vomited less.
Let's wrap up that Floyd story because, yeah, he ends up being the dude that stole the neck off the statue, David Koechner. And he makes him dig up the neck of the statue to put back on. And Floyd eventually does put it back on, but he puts it back on wrong, which is a pretty funny ending shot.
Yeah.
But that's that story. Back at the hotel.
And James Franco's banana hammock.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that was crazy.
Which Lindsay got to see on the big screen, which must have been a delight.
I did. It was huge.
Stray hairs sticking out here and there.
You could see everything. Crystal clear.
Maggie is like putting like lotion and stuff all over him, and she's like tying him up to the bed. And then she's like, you know what? How does it feel to get played? And takes pictures of him and pieces the fuck out.
She takes a Polaroid. Hashtag coming soon.
Oh my God! Yes, that movie is out on Netflix, so it is fair game now.
So Ashley and Ryan they've gotten to the hotel too, and Ryan's thinking twice about doing all this stuff. He leaves, and she's all getting all revved up, and the I dubbed him the Smash Mouth rapist.
Stoner kid
swings by.
Yeah. Okay, so it's not as bad as that scene in Revenge of the Nerds, but it's got that vibe.
How? How is it not as bad as that?
Well, no, I just mean it's not.
The lights are out. He does not announce who he is, and he leaves in the morning before she knows who was there.
It feels. No, I'm not saying it's good, but it feels slightly less malicious and planned.
It's true. He was just high and.
Rape is rape.
It's terrible. It's a straight up rape scene. Don't get me wrong. I just think because he I think in Revenge of the Nerds, the nerd is like, oh, I'm gonna fuck this girl, and in this one he's like, oh, I guess she wants to fuck me.
I guess the difference is this one here. It's just kind of implied, whereas with Revenge of the Nerds, we actually get to see it happen. But society's opinions on things were only slightly starting to shift at that point.
This school is on the verge of a sex scandal. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, that happens, and then you get the final little scene with Ryan meeting up with Maggie. He jumps onto her balcony, which she's put a sheet over that says like basically "fuck off,"
like stay away from me.
Yeah, and he jumps onto her balcony and he's like, I made that bet, but I didn't make that bet, and I fell in love with you. It's every teen movie speech, and it works.
And unfortunately,
I would have like given this movie extra points if she had been like, you know what, you're right, Chris is an asshole, but so are you. Fuck both of you.
Yeah, exactly.
I have this thing called self-respect.
Exactly. And then she just like basically walks out with her middle finger in the air. That would have been great. But no,
storytelling wasn't that bleak back then.
No, they make out, and
that would have happened nowadays. She wouldn't have told him.
Oh yes, no, that's a totally plausible ending to any movie nowadays.
But that's the end of Whatever It Takes. James.
Well, that's the end of their story. The final shot again, like we said, was the panning up of the neck being on backwards.
Yeah, on the statue.
Yeah, with the head staring up into the sky.
So, Lindsay, as our guest, would you say that people should use whatever it takes to watch this movie?
Yeah, so like alcohol, weed, maybe some cocaine.
Oh wow!
Odd mixture.
Might make it enjoyable.
I feel that would just put you back to center, wouldn't it?
Second time around.
So that's a no?
That is a no.
Okay. So, unlike The Happening, this is not one you're recommending.
No, this is probably why I never bought it on video.
Yeah. Okay. Nathan?
And I have a lot of bad movies.
Not in the least. Unless someone can find me a fan edit that just has the nerds doing their thing, I want nothing to do with this movie.
Yeah, this movie is hot garbage. Even for the
hot garbage.
the standard of like teen movies at the time, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like I think She's All That is probably better than this.
Oh yeah.
And
100%.
And that's
way better.
And that's like not a good movie.
Still not very good at all either.
No.
Yeah.
Drive Me Crazy is better than that.
I would rather watch Summer Catch.
Jesus Christ.
That movie's no.
Oof.
No.
Matthew
did I go too
Lillard
far?
pitching.
Okay.
No.
Well,
It's got
on
Matthew Lillard in it, so I mean, that's okay.
It does. I'm surprised Matthew Lillard wasn't in this.
He's getting a little old.
That's true.
Well, Scream was 4 years before this, so yeah, he was a little older at the time.
He would definitely would have out of his high school believability range. I mean, that probably wouldn't have stopped Hollywood if someone had asked him, but
Yeah, but if a woman is 30, she can play a grandmother too.
right.
But on that note, we're going to take a brief break, and we will be right back.
What were they thinking?
What Were They Thinking is brought to you by HostGator. HostGator is a leading provider of shared, reseller, VPS, and dedicated hosting solutions. Award-winning support is available 24/7, 365 days a year via phone, email, and live chat. Discover why over 9 million websites trust HostGator. Use the coupon code SCHLUCK for 25% off your first purchase. That's SCHLUCK, SCHLOCK, for 25% off your first purchase.
What Were They Thinking is brought to you today by GameItAll.com. Whether it's video game news, the latest in music, or movie reviews, GameItAll.com is your one-stop shop for all nerdy talk.
What were they thinking?
And we're back.
Yes, we are back.
That's fast.
Yeah, it was fast. Well, for us, because we don't know what's in store, or because future Brendan has to take care of that.
He will have to put the ads in there. I'm guessing for
Future Brendan problem.
well, it's a future Brendan problem, but I'm sure the ads will be for King Pappy's flour, and also Schmeckler's powder.
Ooh, Schmeckler's. There's none better.
With a name like Schmeckler's, it's got to be good.
That's right. So it is time for the low haiku. 17 perfect syllables to describe the movie we just spent the better part of an hour and a half breaking down. So, Lindsay, as our guest, would you like to start us off with your haiku?
Yes. Mine is a comment on the attire in this movie.
Okay.
Okay, so what is she wearing? That is not a shirt, girlfriend. It's not together.
Very good. Okay, here's my haiku. I'll let you close this out, Nathan.
Okay.
Reprehensible, every single one of you. Maybe not Maggie. Thank you.
I'm not writing one for this flaming pile of shit. Oh crap, I just did.
You were fooled.
It was a swerve, bro.
You told me you won't get fooled again, though.
No.
Oh, you just rock and rolled us out of there.
I CSI'd us right on out of there. CSI Miami.
Oh.
That was awkward.
So, Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
That was my disappointed dad.
We talked about this movie, the three of us.
Mm-hmm.
But what do we always say?
Well, we always say,
Don't take a word for it.
That's right. Don't take our word for it. Wow, this movie took a trouncing on Rotten Tomatoes.
deserved every bit of it.
The critics gave it. The critics gave it. I should say 16% of the critics liked this movie. 45% of the audience liked this movie. So I think we know who wins this round. Rick Groen of the Globe and Mail says, "What you're actually hearing is the sound of a really old coot preaching a very practiced sermon."
Okay. Sure. Well, Jay Carr of the Boston Globe didn't care for it much either. He writes, the producers settled for the most obvious and load of formula stuff in a numbingly cliched teen comedy, pivoting on a lot of plastic angst over who'll take whom to the prom.
Bam. Lindsay, do you have one for us?
Yes. Phoebe Flowers. Whatever it takes Old Tale, ruins it. She is bitter.
I mean, she's not wrong.
No, she's not.
Jason Anderson of I Weekly says, besides being strictly perfunctory, the movie is marked by its offhand sense of cruelty, which is very true.
Well, Jeffrey M. Anderson of the Combustible Celluloid, I'm sure they're related,
Yes.
writes, whatever it takes is one of the worst and most inept teen movies I've seen since last year's Jawbreaker.
Ooh, coming soon.
I like that movie.
Well,
It's okay to like bad movies. We do it all the time here.
I am going to quote the famous Roger Ebert.
Oh.
Still another movie arguing that the American teenager's IQ level hovers in the low 90s.
God, I missed
It does nowadays.
Miss
It
that
did then,
man.
too.
Miss that man.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ever fall for the idea that you were smarter than the teenagers who are coming after you.
I will. This is my last critics review. It's from E Online. Teens have it hard enough without dopey movies making them look like morons.
I actually had that one primed up myself, so we'll end it right there. That's a perfect way to send that home.
All right. Well, we'll go into the audience reviews. The audience reviews.
That's what y'all come for, you.
You bunch of animals. Yeah. We're on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
Benjamin M., which I'm assuming is the man who runs the paint store, gives it 4 stars. And he says, adequate at capturing cliche and yet adequate in capturing the true mood of those cliches. Breathing is a cliche and yet a breath of fresh air can be refreshing. 4 stars.
What does that mean?
It's Benjamin Moore. Don't question it.
Fine paints. Penayota K, half a star, writes, teen romance shit and fetus stars. You can feel the 2000 era in every scene.
Well, Milos run it under a pen name?
I'm assuming it was one of Milos's countrymen at least.
Oh, okay.
This comment's interesting. Alexandria G, 4 stars. But their comment is confusing. Not realistic, but James Franco. Sad face.
Okay.
Yeah, not realistic, but James Franco.
But sad face.
Yeah. James Franco,
I don't
sad
get
face.
it.
R.I.P., right? Wait, what? No? Okay. Robin A. also gives it 4 stars. Says, it was a very good movie. How sometimes you don't know about you real feelings until when the person you love feels be out of your reach. And Ashley, she wasn't really in love with him. He was just someone who was different for her. Someone who told her mean things which never had happened to her. And because she is used to get all the guys she want, he was a kind of her goal. Something to reach to prove to herself that she is good enough, and Ryan thought he loved her, but when he got to know her, he realized that he wasn't really in love with her, that she was just someone he though was good looking, and mistook his feelings.
Okay.
What?
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Oh, if I could translate
Ouch.
it to Canadian.
Yep.
She ain't pretty, she just looks that way.
No.
Yep. Steve S. Gave an
Seagal?
interesting. Yeah, I'm assuming because he sounds like it would be something he would write.
Oh no.
Due to the recent Rotten Tomatoes changes that have basically ruined my past reviews, I am mostly only giving a rating rather than a full review. 2 stars.
Oh shit, the Rotten Tomatoes conspiracy.
Taking Rotten Tomatoes to task.
Yeah. Oh, how dare they collect critics' reviews? Oh.
Heather M. 1.5 stars. Who doesn't love the Franco-West combination? I remember nothing else worthwhile about this movie. It's positive, and then it's not.
Well, this is a positive review here. This is from Daniel B., and he gives it 4 stars. I loved this movie. Julia Sweeney is hot, and James Franco is greatness. I really wish I didn't lose this movie my senior year. 4 stars.
Wait, what? Julia Sweeney is hot.
Julia Sweeney is hot. James Franco is greatness.
Wow. That's such a glaring look into that person's psyche.
Yeah. I mean, hey, Julia Sweeney is an attractive lady.
It's you don't expect somebody who would be in the target audience of this movie talking about James Franco being greatness to be uttering the lines Julia Sweeney is hot.
Oh, digging the mom.
Well, she did have that big dick.
That's right.
It's just, and the energy to go with it.
Yeah.
Okay, Adam C, which I'm guessing is Adam Copeland.
Yeah, probably.
And he wrote with his giant teeth and big grin, this one felt like it must have been released in the 80s, but nope. The plot is just tired, completely predictable, and over-recycled. Kind of cool to see Franco in one of his first roles, but the amount of stereotyping and bad acting that goes on throughout makes it difficult to watch. The feel-good ending is kind of redeeming, but if you didn't see it coming, I feel sorry for you. Ooh, a little snooty there, Adam.
Wow, Adam.
Ooh.
1.5 stars.
Take some shots.
Well, I think it's time for some positivity here.
Of course.
I have a Michelle G. She wrote, great teenage flick. Me and my sister saw it. She liked it a hell of a lot better than me. She actually went out and bought the movie, and she never buys movies. This movie was really nice. I loved the ending. 5 stars.
No.
It's like, we didn't ask for your life story, Michelle.
Yeah.
We did ask for
Nobody gives
proper
a
grammar,
shit.
though, Michelle, so come on,
Yeah,
get
we
your
did.
shit together.
Me and my sister.
My sister and I.
Cringe.
This is a bit of a wordy one, and I apologize in advance, but this is my last one.
Okay.
It's from reviewer Sailor Moon.
All right.
And the review reads as such. It's a teen comedy of all time.
All right. Got a little wordy there, but you brought it back home at the end. I appreciate that.
Sorry, I didn't mean to drag this podcast on longer.
No. Well, I got one last one here too from Kwanjana K.
Yeah.
2.5 stars. Just another American Pie wannabe.
Shots fired.
Yeah.
With no nudity, really. Kind of.
Yeah.
Nipple tape.
Looking back, now that you mentioned American Pie, man, that Shannon Elizabeth scene feels a lot worse than it did at the time.
You see what I mean, Brendan?
They broadcast her on the internet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Horrible people. Lindsay, do you have one more to send us home?
I have one more.
Okay.
This one's from Patience W.
Okay.
I remember watching this when I was 11 and being sorry to say, not shocked, but sorry to say that the only source of enjoyment that I received from this movie was looking at the faces of James Franco and Shane West for about 90 minutes. Even that was a bit annoying because neither of them had reached the peak of their hotness. Franco was actually a bit creepy looking. 1 star.
When she was 11, she felt that way.
Yeah.
And is she acting like she's a badass because she saw this movie?
When she was 11.
Because she was like, not shocked, because I wasn't shocked at all. I was just telling Brendan today that there's a movie on Tubi now called Angel about a high school prostitute that I saw when I was 7. It has high school prostitutes, transvestite prostitutes, and several murders done by a serial killer. 7.
Wow.
I don't give a crap if you saw this movie when you were 11 and you weren't shocked. You shouldn't be. This movie was trite, cliched, and terrible.
Oh, man. Those are the reviews for whatever it takes. So we should give a hint. a little hintsky. We should say right now, actually, Nathan, next week is a very special episode.
Are you getting your period?
Well, I wasn't gonna tell you, but
You're not gonna be threatened into peer pressuring by taking drugs at school, are you? By the bullies?
Nathan,
Yeah.
you're making all these jokes, but
Is Felicia Rashad gonna be there playing your
I
mom?
can't wait till you have to talk about this movie.
Okay.
This is a movie you have unbridled rage for. You know what?
Yeah.
Fuck it. Let's not even hint it. Let's just announce it because it's a Patreon pick. It's a Patreon pick from Luke.
So you guys did this to me.
Luke over at Game It All. This is taking over Nathan's picks, so you could be extra angry about that. We are going to be talking about Silent Hill.
God damn it.
And I will just leave it at that. We just save all that rage for next week. But we were going to talk about...
I'm friends. I mean, I never met the guy, I don't think, but I'm pretty sure we had some sort of internet friendship going on. I like his posts and make witty comments to them, not only on his personal page, but also on the Game It All. You do this to me. You broke my heart, Fredo. You broke my heart. I knew it was you.
I am actually really excited to talk about this movie because I haven't seen it since it came out in theaters, and I didn't really have a strong opinion about it either way, and I know you hate it, and I'm ready for some rage.
Almost walked out of it.
Yeah.
It's the only movie I've almost walked out of.
I think that might be why he picked it. So we'll talk about Silent Hill next week. But is your good buddy Montrose here to say a few words?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Hello! It's good friend Montrose Minkington III here. I'd just like to invite all you fine listeners to become viewers, if you will. Montrose Minkington TV on YouTube. You can also be my friend on Facebook if you'd like. The group Montrose Minkington III Esquire and Friends. And you can also tweet me at Montrose III. That's the number 3 D. I guarantee you I will not be talking about whatever it takes. Thank you. More later.
Not yet. That'll be a future episode.
Probably not ever.
Oh, okay.
No.
More later.
Unless they make a sequel with those nerd chaps. They seemed interesting.
And Shane West.
No.
Well, thanks, Montrose.
You're welcome. It's entirely your pleasure.
Yes.
Lindsay, it was good seeing you again.
As it was seeing you or hearing you.
I shall take my leave of you. You're supposed to let them think we're all in the same room.
Oh, awkward.
Yes, very. You are. I will leave now. Thank you. Goodbye.
What are they awkwarding?
Social distance.
That's right. Yeah, we're not all in the
Well,
same
you
want to
you want to keep at a throwing distance from a chimp.
Yeah, that's for sure. But I do want to thank, before we move on, I do want to thank Lindsay for joining us once again and talk about another great film.
You're welcome.
No, we just talked about whatever it takes.
Yeah. I don't understand the difference from what I said.
You said great film. You're obviously confused about when we talked about The Happening the last time she was here.
The Happening was so good. I love that movie. I love that stupid movie. But yeah, Lindsay, where can they... You got a Twitter? You got a Facebook? Where can people find you?
I don't know if I want to give up my Twitter.
You don't have to. It's up to you.
If you do,
okay. Not yet.
Not yet.
No.
I'm still too awkward.
Okay, saving it for the future.
She's not at that stage with you, world. Okay, she's not ready to go to that next level.
That's fine. Hey, that's your choice. Your Twitter, your choice. So
make sure, Brennan, you tag her Twitter and all of her socials in the when you post this on Facebook.
Yeah, what's your bank account number again?
What's the name of that first school you went to?
Just send it in the email as a form of a PayPal. I need to put in all my info again.
Yeah.
So you can find us all over the place. We're on all the podcatchers. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at WWTT Podcast. No, that's not true. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at WWTT Podcast. You can find us on Facebook just by searching for What Were They Thinking. You can find us on patreon.com/WWTT Podcast. Become a patron, just like Lindsay here. She's a patron. She knows what's up.
I am. Mm-hmm. I do.
Yeah. So you could be as cool as Lindsay.
Or as
awkward.
Malicious and hateful as Luke.
Yeah, exactly. So you could do that. Yeah, that being said, so you can do all that stuff. That's where we are. Wow, I am having a hard time with this.
I don't know why he's sing-songing it. That's our stuff. That's where we are. You can find us there. Just search us up.
Patreon.com/WWT podcast.
Okay, this is turning into the Spider-Man theme.
Look out.
I like that.
Nathan, do you have any questions?
Yes, I do. Listen, bud.
What are they? Tell me now.
Shane West, James Franco, were two skeeves and some hoes. Yeah. In this terrible movie.
Good.
Can you tell me what's going on with the nerds? I want to see their movie.
No, I can't. I don't know. They were side characters.
Oh no! What were they thinking?
Moving forwards, using all my breath. Making love to you was never second best. I saw the world crashing all around your face. Never really knowing it was always mesh and lace. I'll stop the world and melt with you. You've seen the difference and it's getting better all the time. There's nothing you and I won't do. I'll stop the world and melt with you. We should know better. Dream of better lives, the kind which never hate. Trapped in a state of imaginary grace. I made a pilgrimage to save this human's race. Never comprehending the race.
Shane Black and James Franco are two skeeves in some hoes.
I don't think this movie had Shane Black.
Why did I say Shane Black? Shane West.
I don't know, but the dialogue wasn't as clever as that.
Let's try that back again.